What up, y'all? It's Bam's Golf. Here's the second golf course review video. Hopefully you enjoyed the first one of Paynes Valley and kind of Big Cedar Lodge compared to the French Lick Resort. So just a few days ago, my buddy and I, we went up to Lawsonia. We stayed in Madison for a couple days with our wives, but one of the days we snuck up to Green Lake, Wisconsin to play Lawsonia Links. And everything that we saw online is, oh, great value, pretty good course too, but great value, top 100 course. Well, I can confirm course is unreal. The pictures and the videos that you're going to see don't do it nearly as good as it doesn't do it nearly as good a justice as it should. Like it was overcast, so wasn't going to be great anyway. But the two guys we were with, we enjoyed talking with them, so we didn't want to kind of annoy them with us doing videos every couple of holes. So kind of limited on it, but I felt like I got a decent amount. So yeah, throughout me talking, you're going to just see these videos popping up and pictures popping up. But the course was pretty easy until you got onto the greens, and then the course was very, very, very challenging. Definitely the toughest greens I've ever putted on. I mean, Paynes Valley's greens were tough. The Ross course at French Lick was tougher, and these were just not even close how much harder these greens were than those two courses. Like, I don't know, I'm a decent putter. That's how I can have a low handicap, because I don't strike the ball very well, and Brock hits the shit out of the ball and has some accuracy issues at times, but his putting is also pretty solid. And yeah, I had 35 putts. He had 39 putts. I think Brock had 2 4 putts and 2 or 3 3 putts. I think I had like maybe 2 3 putts and 3 1 putts, but it was just all about position. So like, if you were in the wrong position on the green, you were not going to 1 putt, and you were going to hope that you could 2 putt. So we played the white tees. We were kind of unsure which route we wanted to go with. But the two guys that we played with said they wanted to do the whites, so we went with that. It was 6,500 from the whites. Blues were 6,800, but after the round, kind of looking at the scorecard, like the 18th hole is like an 85-yard difference, and then the rest of the holes are all like 10 yards, 15 yards. So I don't know. I kind of enjoyed the white tee 6,500. It played maybe 100 or 200 less just because of some of the elevation change. But there were a handful of uphill holes as well. It wasn't all downhill, but we loved it. Brock and I were like a couple holes in, like, I don't understand how they're only charging $120 to play it. Like, it was sick. And actually the two guys we played with, they were going to do like the Links in the morning and the Woodlands in the afternoon. That's their other course there. And it's like only $135 to do both courses if you play them in the same day. So I know next year we're going to play Erin Hills on a Saturday, Sunday, but that Friday we're going to do 36. And I think we're just going to do that deal, like stay there Thursday night and then play one of each course the next day. The Woodlands looked kind of cool. The few holes that we saw, it looked a lot tighter and a lot tougher. But I don't know how long the course is, so maybe it isn't tougher. But the Links was challenging. I mean, I shot 78, and I think I got like 5 from the whites, and Brock shot 81 and got 6. So I was net 1 over, and he was net 3 over. But we both struck it actually surprisingly well. Brock was in the fescue at times, but yeah, it was basically just a putting. Like, I know I usually have around like 30 to 32 putts around, and he was probably around like 34 putts around. So we were both, struggling on the greens. I know Brock got home in 2 on both par 5s on the front. He 4-jacked 1 for bogey and 3-jacked 1 for par. So it is seriously all about positioning. So if you play it, this is kind of funny to say to get a yardage book, but it probably wouldn't hurt for your first round, or if they offer caddies, maybe get a caddy. Cause like there were so many times we'd hit a green and we get up there and realize like, oh, we're going to 3-putt it or have to make like a 15-footer to make par. And it could have been that the grounds crew had like a rough night the night before and wanted to take it out on the players. But there are so many pins that if you're above the hole, there's no physical way to stop the ball without going in. So yeah, we enjoyed the whites. I'd say if you hit it like 260 or more off the tee, the blues won't really play much of a difference. But if you hit it less than like 260 off the tee, I probably would play the whites just so you can have more wedges and short irons in hand.
Stick it.
So you can kind of catch some of the ridges and hitting some of the spots where you're supposed to be, so you can have some better putts. But yeah, it was fun. I loved it. I know on the handicap app that we use, the Grint, you can like put your top courses. And I think number one for me, I have got Paynes Valley. Number two, I've got the Pete Dye course. And I actually put Lawsonia third ahead of like Ozark National, Dalhousie, Golf Club of Houston. I've played a handful of nice courses. I know in the next few years we're going to definitely add to the list, but I don't know. I think until we play Arcadia Bluffs, Lawsonia will definitely be 3. Obviously the Bluffs course, I'm intrigued to see where that falls on the list, but no, I loved it. And honestly, value wise, I've never played a better course for that amount of money. Like $120 really isn't that much money for a top 100 course in the US. And yeah, like that course was unreal. And I would definitely say if you're going to go out and play it, like check out the Fried Egg. They do a podcast and they did a video out there, and like you can kind of see some of the undulation. They talk more about the architecture of the course, but it's unreal how much more slope the course is when you get there. Like number 7 is like or number 6 is a par 4 that's just straight downhill the whole way, like probably 150 foot just going down until you get to the green. All the par 3s except for number 4, I think number 4 and number 10, they kind of played uphill or flat, but a couple of the other ones, there's 5 par 3s. They play pretty severely downhill. 7 is kind of crazy. If you go right of the green, it's like probably a 40-foot drop off. There's one of the pictures I'm going to show throughout this is Brock standing at the base of it, but like it was probably a 30-40 foot drop if you're right of the green at all. It's just crazy. Like I don't know if I've ever seen that severe of like if you're off the green, you're just totally screwed. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to make a trend when I do these videos of having my favorite couple holes and hardest holes. Favorite hole for sure, number 13. From the whites, it was like 560, dead into the wind, so probably playing 580, 590. And like I hit it about 260, so I'm still 300 out. And like if you can't get it to about 50, 60 yards short of the green, there's just like a giant valley that goes down, I don't know, 60 feet, 70 feet. That's about 100 or 90 yards to about 120 yards out. So like it's kind of cool that if you chunk your layup, you're going to have about 100 in, or if you hit a great layup but not to 50 yards out, you're going to have about 100 in. So I hit like driver hybrid, didn't get all the way up, and it rolled down, and I had like a 90-yard shot in. I still made par, but it was just like you don't see that too often where like you get rewarded for a bad layup and you kind of get screwed for a good layup. Brock nuked his drive like 285 and then hit a good 3-wood and had he covered it. He had like 40 yards in. So yeah, I mean, if you hit it as far as he does, then you're not going to have an issue with it. But man, that hole from the blues, I think would have probably played over 600 yards. So but yeah, that hole definitely the hardest, and or not hardest, but definitely the coolest hole in my opinion. The hardest hole was probably number 16. There's only 2 holes that trees even are in play, and that's 15 and 16. They're the par 4s along the tree line on the back, and like 16 was like 450 dead into the wind. Actually, no, it was like a cross helping wind. I just hit a terrible tee shot, but yeah, I mean, that hole is just kind of long and uphill, and yeah, for me, I hit like driver 5-iron and made bogey. And yeah, that one was probably the toughest. But yeah, I know like my favorite part of the course is like after you play number 10, you look over and you can see the entire back nine. You can see every single cart, every single player. And like, it's just weird. I've never really experienced where you can see like every single person unless you're in that valley on 13. But yeah, that was a cool, I have the video, but again, I've got a Motorola, so the camera's not great. We probably should have done it on Brock's phone, but yeah, that was cool. We were just like, now we had to wait a while because the weirdest part about the course, and I don't know if I like it or dislike it yet, but like 9 is a par 5, 10 is a par 3, 11 par 5, 12 par 3, 13 par 5, 14 par 3. So it's like just odd. I don't know. I don't think there's ever been a course that's back to back to back to back to back 5-3, 5-3, 5-3. But that was kind of the one thing that we cruised on the front, played it in like 2 hours, but then the back nine was like 220 because you're waiting so much on those first few holes for people to like go for the green, and then it's a par 3. Go for the green, par 3, but then it kind of sped back up once you got into the par 4s. But yeah, so enjoy the videos and the pictures, and really the only shots I took of me and Brock was on 18, and we actually did both birdie it. I about holed out from like 70 or 80 yards, and then Brock kind of yanked his 3-wood, but chipped it close and made his birdie putt. But those were the only real shots because, again, we were enjoying Doug and Bill, and we didn't want to ruin their round with us taking videos. So enjoy. Thanks for watching the last one. And the big news is Nick is going to do his North Carolina video. He's playing, again, like 3 or 4 of the courses at Pinehurst, Mid Pines, and then Tobacco Road. So we're all kind of looking forward to seeing his video more than ours, because those are, yeah, several top 100 courses. One of them is like top 10 in the U.S. But Lawsonia, it was awesome. We're definitely coming back. And their pro shop is loaded with a bunch of sweet stuff. I know my bag tag was like, I think 10 or 15 bucks, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, the place is awesome. I kind of feel like if you just did Lawsonia only and you did like maybe 4 rounds at the Links and 2 at the Woodlands, it's going to be that would be a very cost-effective trip. It'd be under $1,000, and yeah, great golf. Again, I don't know the Woodlands. We'll play it next year probably, but the Links, awesome. Definitely coming back. Thanks, guys.